It's C-Doc again.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Tuesday night, and welcome to another episode of It Is C-Doc Again. Well, it's not it is. It's C-Doc again. Thanks for swinging by, and we're trying something new tonight. We're usually on Facebook and YouTube, of course, Channel 0, and we're trying Twitch tonight. So hopefully, if anybody's watching on Twitch, give us a shout. Let us know. We're kind of new at it, so bear with us. But gotta try to expand the brand, so to speak. And no one knows better than expanding the brand than our girl on the West Side who got our start in classic rap radio, our lady from the heyday of KDAY, Jennifer O. Jenny.
What up? What up?
What's happening?
You know what? We are live and in person on Twitch.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. You set that up.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how that works, but yes.
Well, hey, I'm here to tell you, there we are. I'm looking right at us.
All right. Okay. So there. Knackwurst couldn't find us on Twitch, even though we're
What's up, Knack?
So our other co-host tonight, hailing from New Jersey, who also is co-host of the People's Distinctive Travels podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Mag.
What's happening, people? What's going on?
What's up, good sir?
People's
chilling as always. No complaints.
Excellent. Yeah. So it's kind of funny because we have a bunch of people in the waiting room that are here to watch the show.
I've heard.
I'm gonna handle that just right this very second.
All good, Jen. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's very funny.
But anyway,
it's fun.
Oh man. Okay. Excuse me.
Don't choke, Doc. Don't choke.
I got mad heartburn tonight. I don't know what's going on. I took my medicine and everything. I don't know what's going on. So.
All right.
Yeah. Eesh.
We don't need that.
No, we don't need that at all. Anyway, what's good with you, Ultra Mag? Anything new and exciting?
Actually, last Saturday,
yes.
So a new episode of the podcast that we recorded. It's going to take us a minute to get out.
Right. You guys do extensive editing.
Right.
Yeah.
But we interviewed DJ Too Tough.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So I heard. Yeah.
And we got, we met him, at the location. So
yeah,
whenever somebody is in the tri-state, New York, Philly, Jersey, we try to meet up with him. So it was great to meet up with him.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great, man. Yep. So basically, if I want to be on the show, I got to drive out to Philly. Is that what you're saying?
No. We're gonna call you.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna call you. We're gonna patch you in.
I do have to make a Philly trip because it's been a number of years since I've been out there, and I want to go digging.
If you make a Philly trip, then we can do it on location. I mean, right? Let's make that happen.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I will keep you posted.
Okay. It's right across the bridge. It's 15 minutes away. That's nothing.
That's what's up. Yeah, because Chris Schwartz keeps bugging me. He's like, "Hey, why don't you ever come out here?" I'm like, "Cause it's 5 hours away, man. Why don't you come out to Pittsburgh?"
Right.
But anyway.
Yep.
Jennifer, did it stop snowing in LA?
Yeah, it's just raining.
Yeah. Yeah, it stopped snowing out there and started snowing here.
Yeah, I saw flurries today, real quick.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
It's been snowing here all day, but it's going to be 44 and it'll all be gone tomorrow. So,
right.
Oh.
Whatever.
I don't know what's happening here?
No lights.
I have no idea what's happening.
Dre May's in the house. Knackwurst found it. Al J in the house. Head's in the house. Oh, we lost Ultra Mag.
What happened?
I don't know.
for the ladies and anybody else that breeze, there's the link.
There you go.
On YouTube.
There you go. You can go watch on YouTube. Welcome back to the show, sir.
I think Joyce kicked me out. Jazzy Joyce.
I want to bring Joyce on. Yeah, you should bring Joyce on. If you hang out long enough, Joyce, I'll bring you on the show later. All right. So,
she left.
Yeah, she left. There you go. That's
all I hope I didn't make her run away.
Yeah. Thanks, Mara. There's my wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say after this.
No, I didn't.
Hey, Dre Mays. Hey, Mara.
Anyway. All right. Well, we have a fantastic guest tonight. This guy, a West Coast legend. I'm going to say it. He's a West Coast legend who put out just one of the great debuts. I mean, I don't know. I love it. I think it's just such a fantastic album. And he's on a Posse. Would that be considered a Posse cut? 3 people. That's a Posse cut, right? Kind of, sort of.
He's on a few Posse cuts.
Yeah, well, yes, but the one I'm thinking of, the King T joint, you know, that's one of particular note. So
first.
Yeah, man. So hailing from the West Side. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Breeze.
Yo. What up, people?
What's up, sir?
What's going on? What's good?
Thank you for being here tonight. I'm gonna embiggen you. There you go. Oh, and our final co-host finally showed up. He knew he was gonna be running late, so I'm gonna bring him on the show. President of Rap Station and the man behind Hip Hop Gods, who also plays Breeze's music. Ladies and gentlemen, Flatline.
Yes, indeed.
Oh.
Salute.
Flatline.
What up, dude?
What's up? Sorry for being late.
It's all good. You're a working man.
I am.
Better late than never.
That's
right.
it.
Oh,
All right.
See, they know you're in the house, Breeze. There you go.
Yep. There it is. So shout out to Al J from Black Medine.
Yep.
So take us back, man. What inspired you to pick up the mic originally? Where did that come from?
My mother, actually. My mother was a prominent singer back in the day when I was a kid. I was one of those kids that she dragged to the show because, if we couldn't get a babysitter or whatever, I was the kid in the backstage while she was doing her thing, singing at shows. In New York, I originally grew up until I was like a teenager, 12, 13 in New York. Then I moved to California. So while I was in my younger years, my mother, sang at a lot of places like Copacabana, all like the big clubs out. So I actually learned to love music from just being around her. And music was always a prominent part of my life since a child. Yeah. I originally started off singing. I wanted to be a singer, but once rap hit the scene, it was like, that's what I want to do right there.
When did you first get into hip hop?
My early days of hip hop basically was like listening to tapes and going to jams in the Bronx. Well, I really couldn't go to jams because I was too young, but I got all the tapes, that circulated, like the Cold Crush tapes, Treacherous 3 tapes, Busy Bee tapes. They used to throw jams like not too far from where I used to live. So I was in it from basically its inception. Soon as there start being jams in hip hop, I was in it.
Yeah. Was it a big shift when you moved to the West Coast for you?
Actually, you know what? I think that was the blessing in moving to the West Coast when my mom decided that we was moving to California. I was more of a fan of hip hop and rap. And I just used to listen to it, but it just seemed like soon as I moved to the West Coast, I got ultra involved into whatever was hip hop. So that's when I started to break dance, rap, And that's when I really got, started into actually trying to pen my own raps. That probably started when I was about 12, 13.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it was a bit of a shift, culture shift though, coming from the East Coast to West Coast style wise, because was the West Coast was still on the kind of big electro kind of sound and whatnot at that point, right?
Oh yeah, it was the fast rap, who was that? Captain Rap and back to Egyptian Lover and
Yeah.
Dream Team and stuff like that. So it was a little different. It was different than what I was used to. Also, even the music, as far as music that they listened to when they wasn't listening to rap, they was listening to funk music like George Clinton, Parliament, and stuff like that. I always tell people there's a difference between like kind of like East Coast funk and West Coast funk. To me, West Coast funk was more like George Clinton, Parliament, Funkadelic, stuff like that. While me, funk was James Brown. That's what I knew as funk. Where you listen to James Brown, even though they listened to it here, but it was more prominent as far as that's what we considered funk. So once I didn't really understand the music at first, and I really didn't even like it that much when I first listened to it. So like that's when I really started to get into, well, I still had my tape, so it was like, okay, let me venture off into this hip hop thing, because being homesick, trying to, hold on to your roots, and that's what really got me into doing it. But I mean, years later, I adapted, and I'm sure we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. Yep.
And of course, when he got here to California, then he found KDAY.
Oh, of course. Of course. Let me tell you something. KDAY was my first supporter. Like, I remember Bobby. I went up to the studio with Bobby Jimmy a gang of times. Greg Mack and all of them. Like, that was the first people that ever played anything that I ever done. So that I always give, ultimate respect to KDAY. I think without KDAY, the music on the West Coast wouldn't be what it would, or if it would be what it is now, it would have just took a little longer to get there.
Jen, did you guys run into each other?
I don't remember. When was this? What year?
I would say probably like late 80s, 88, 87, 89, somewhere around there.
Yep, I was there.
Yeah, KDAY Mix Masters, and I knew all the Mix Masters.
See, you guys ran into each other and you don't even remember.
We ran into each other. You could have picked me out of a lineup in that place. Random white girl. Yep. Okay, that's got to be Jennifer.
It's Jennifer.
Hey, who's the white chick?
Yep.
Yeah, but it was always like, a quick in and out. I mean, like I said, I was and Greg Mack, even still, I seen Greg Mack, I think about a year ago. Still to this day, I bump into him here and there, but like, yeah, he was definitely one of them guys that was like first kind of gave me like a stamp of, being in on the LA music scene. So like, it's always love and respect to KDAY.
Yep. KDAY was the thing.
When did you get into start doing recordings, or were you doing like live stuff first?
No, actually, the way it kind of started, it was like not too many people had records back at that time. I mean, there was a few records, but people who was really trying to rap. How it all started. You found out who at what school was supposed to be the best rapper, who at this school, who over in this hood, whoever, and you went around from place to place and you just battled people to see who was the best rapper. That kind of made its way out here. I would say that was probably like mid 80s, like 85, 86, 87, like around that time when I was in high school. And it just so happens one of the high schools that I was going to, a friend of mine, you guys know them as LA Posse, Big Dad and Muffler. I used to go to school with Big Dad's girlfriend's brother, and he heard me across the street battling some dude who's supposed to be the best in that area at this place called the Burger Basket, where we used to go eat after school. And he was like, "Yo, my sister's boyfriend does music. You should meet him." So I ended up, meeting him one day, and then Muffler was throwing a party out in Antelope Valley where he had like rappers, and he was throwing a jam out there. So when I rapped for Big Dad, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you out to this party." So I went out to the party. I rapped for Muffler, and the rest was like, that's when I got into actually doing some studio stuff. Muff took me into the studio. We recorded some songs. Muff's cousin is the late Roger Clayton, Uncle Jam. And so basically, once we got enough songs, I think we did like 2 songs. We had like 2 songs that we did recorded at the studio in Hollywood. And back in the day, they used to have this music convention in Universal Studio called the BRE. I'm sure y'all know about that as well, the Black Radio exclusive. And just so happens, Roger Clayton knew Russell Simmons. And I was one of the dudes who stood in that line of 100 people trying to play their tapes for Russell Simmons. And out of everybody who played their tape that day to try, to get on, I was the only one that he liked. And a week later, I was on a plane the next week going to New York, and I signed to Def Jam. Def Jam was like my first deal when I was like 16, 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
And so when you started recording for Def Jam,
Mm-hmm.
you ended up, were you doing demos, or did they like take you in for to actually record an album?
No, I mean, I actually had a deal, signed a deal. I was underage. Moms had to sign the contract, the whole 9.
Yeah.
And I was recording at Chung King House of Metal where everybody in Def Jam was recording. I probably recorded, I was signed to them for 3 years. I had a 3-year deal. But, at that time, LL was like super hot, and, the Beastie Boys, and they had like a nice little lineup. And it was hard for me to break through because, LL had his stuff. And on top of that, you also have to remember I was a kid. And although I thought that I was about to quit school and I'm about to become the star, my mom was like, "Hell no, you're not. You're going to still go to school.
Right.
And you can go out to record during your spring break, your summer break, your Thanksgiving break, your Christmas break, but that's about it." So it was kind of hard for me to, be there full time. But, I recorded probably, I think, about 40 songs for him. And I learned a very important lesson, though, while I was doing that. And this is something that I teach the people that I talk to about, writing songs. Is there's a difference between, like I always say, there's a difference between a rapper and an MC. There's also a difference between writing raps and writing songs.
Yeah.
And every time that I used to record a song and we would play it for Russell, Russell would love it the first day that we would play. His neck would damn near break when he would listen to the song. But the next day he would always call us back and go, "Yeah, it's cool, but make something else. That's not a song." And it's like, it's not a song. What are you saying? So he kind of taught me the importance of actually writing a song, having a beginning, having a body, having an ending, and it all intertwining together. So it was like a weird mentorship, but it taught me the importance of actually learning how to write songs.
When you were at Def Jam, was Bobcat already with LL?
No. Bobcat wasn't with LL. Actually, the way Bobcat came into the story, DJ Pooh was actually my first DJ. And no, not DJ Pooh. DJ Pooh was my second DJ. Bobcat came along because when we was in New York, Bobcat was going to be my DJ. Actually, Bobcat was my first DJ. I'm getting it mixed up. He was DJing for me first. But once again, during the time that we was recording, Muff and Big Dad, they were grown men. So they got us an apartment in Brooklyn. They lived there. And Bobcat came out. So he was, part of the production team. So we would, record. But on the times that I would have to leave to go back to school, they would have nothing to do because I wasn't around. So that's around the time when LL was recording the Bigger and Deffer album. Yeah, the Bigger and Deffer album, the one with "I Need Love" and all of that. I guess Rick Rubin was busy doing something else, or whoever was supposed to be producing was busy doing something else. I think he was busy with the Beastie Boys or something like that. And Russell Simmons liked Muff's production, so he was like, "Hey, just on a whim, why don't y'all go in there and try and see what y'all can cook up for LL?" And they cooked up Big Endeavor basically, and the way Bobcat got on, because there was a record. I don't know if y'all remember the record "Go Cut Creator Go."
Yeah. I'm just listening to it today, actually. Yeah.
Exactly. So on Go Cut Creator Go, I guess, Philpott, LL's DJ put some scratches on it. And it was, I don't know if it was, what they were looking for or whatever the case may be. So, they brought in Bobcat and said, Bobcat throw some scratches on it. So I think Bobcat tried to be easy at first, but then when they, looked at him, shut off the music and said, "Yo, do your thing." And so when you hear "Go Cut Creator Go," that's actually Bobcat scratching.
It's actually
Wow.
And
God.
from that moment when LL saw that, it was like, "Oh, wait, who do you DJ for?" "Oh, I DJ for Breeze." "Oh, Breeze on the label. He ain't coming out no time soon. You might as well come over here with me." And I heard it was like a deal brokered between some turntables, troop suits, and some money.
Oh, troop suit.
Yeah, remember the troop suit? Remember the
Yeah.
troop suit?
Yeah.
They were live.
Yeah. So, but I will say this though, Bob was a stand-up dude, because he was like, that's my man. I've been doing this with Breeze for a while. I'm not gonna just abandon him like that. Let me holler at him. So I've been on the label probably for like 2 years, probably 30 songs in, still ain't getting no traction. Although everybody in the label used to play my stuff. Run DMC used to play my stuff in Hollis. Everybody would be playing my records and going, "Why isn't Breeze out?" Well, whatever the case may be. So Bob came over to me and he was like, "Look, man, LL asked me to DJ for him." He said, "Man, if you don't want me to do it, I won't do it." And I was like, "Look, man," I think we're like a year apart. I'm like, "Man, you've been doing this just as long as I've been doing it. If you got a chance to get out there right now, go, man. I'm not going to hold you back. Like, I don't know what's going on over here at Def Jam." So he was like, "All right," but he said, "But before I leave, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to hook you up with another DJ." So he ended up hooking me up with DJ Pooh. So DJ Pooh was actually my second DJ.
Wow.
Not
See,
doing
that's why you
not doing
can't
too
mess
bad,
with
huh?
the LA DJs.
Yeah.
No,
You
can't.
cannot mess with the LA DJs.
The only ones who had a shot back then was Philly DJ, but not
Yes.
New York
Yeah.
DJ.
Yes.
Not New York, and I'm from New York, and I'll say that, not New York DJs. It was LA had to be number one for me, but Philly was right there.
Yep. Shout out to Philly. We had the
See,
Philly
and we
DJs
were
on a couple weeks ago.
We were just talking about Uncle Jam's Army last night. Ultra.
Yeah, we were.
Yep.
You talked about Roger Clayton. You sure did.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happened to those Def Jam joints?
You know what? They probably still somewhere in Chungking somewhere, but Muff got a few of them. All that stuff was on tapes, man. So it's like, I'm sure at some point I had them and they got lost in the fire or whatever. And he sent me though a couple of joints that we did. I think I got probably about 7 of them.
Wow.
But I did like 40. Yeah.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Breeze the early years, the Def Jam years.
Yeah. And a lot of the ideas that I was doing in songs actually got used by, several different rappers. I'm not going to, name no names, but some of my ideas actually ended up on, albums that you very well know.
Wow. Damn. Yeesh. So basically Def Jam waited out your contract and then released you?
No, actually they dropped the ball was what happened. Is because I've been there for so long that they didn't know that my contract was about to be expired. And I'm like, well, if they're not saying anything, and then at that point you got to think Muff and LA Posse, the LA Posse as a production. I hate saying LA Posse because we're all LA Posse, but as a production team, they started to gain traction because they was producing for LL, Real Roxanne. They was doing a lot of stuff, behind the scenes, Run DMC. So what happened was they went out and scored a publishing deal, not a publishing deal, a production deal through Atlantic. So their whole thing was like, well, if we're gonna get this production deal, we taking Breeze with us. And so it was more like the last few months we was all on some quiet. Don't say nothing, don't play the cover before they end up picking up options and we're not going nowhere.
Right.
So once we got that deal, I was included in that deal. And actually that's how I got off Def Jam. My contract just expired.
Wow. That's crazy, man. Damn.
And wasn't nobody standing at the door going, no, wait.
You're right.
No, you know what? They was afterwards. Let Muff tell it. Leor Cohen was actually supposed to come to the meeting when they was doing the production deal, and because he was like, "We're not giving up Breeze," and they're like, "Yes, you are. You have no choice." So he was just trying to, I guess, find his way in on the deal. And I guess the day that they was having the meeting at Atlantic, Leor never showed up.
Oh wow. Oh,
Breeze,
Leor, you blew it.
Look at the screen.
Oh yeah, Donald D in the house.
Yep, microphone king.
Yeah. What up, what? Rhyme Syndicate.
Yes, indeed. So it was your debut, The Young Son of No One. Was that the first album in the production deal?
Yeah, I was the first one to come out. It was me in the deal. It was this group called the Wise Guys. One of the dudes from the Wise Guys was Al from Ill and Al Scratch.
Oh, there you go. Ultramag got it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
He was in an original group called the Wise Guys, and then LA Posse was supposed to do a production album, and that featured me, Wise Guys, Lady of Rage. And you guys would be surprised how many people as a crew that we tried to get signed and we could never get signed. I mean, the list is pretty impressive. I mean, we had a Mel LaRue before Groove Theory. We had Monifa before she went to Uptown. We had Lady of Rage before we gave her to Death Row. Yeah, I mean, we also had Pharaoh Monch before they was they used to be in a crew called STP, Simply Too Positive MCs.
Yeah.
Before they changed their name to Organized Confusion. We was the first ones to find them.
Wow. Damn.
Shit.
And
Was that just because
couldn't get nobody signed? And Nikki D. We had Nikki D too.
That's crazy.
Was that Atlantic dropping the ball?
That was everybody dropping the ball.
That's a lot of balls being dropped.
Yeah.
That was everybody playing hot potato.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. But we always presented to like Atlantic first, and they would be like, that's back when they didn't really understand the music. They didn't know how to market it. It was still trying to, but they like, okay, maybe you guys know what you're talking about, maybe you don't. But I'm just like, man, if we had actually had a chance to put out everybody that we found, man, it would have been dope.
Yeah. Things would have been a little bit different. Yeah. Wow.
It would have been a lot of it different.
Yeah. Damn, man. Wow. Well, so anyway, you finally get a record out. The songs from I get CD too. There we go. The songs from The Young Son of No One. Were any of these left over from? There it is. There's a cassette. Left over from the Def Jam days, or did you repurpose things, or just start fresh?
We just started fresh. We left all of that. Then music was still advancing, so we just left that. We left that totally back and started fresh. And we came up with that. And since we're getting into talking about the album, what I said earlier is about we'll get into how my views of funk music changed. Is that's when Muff started to incorporate more funk into the music, and it was like, and I remember vividly him saying him producing LA Posse, and he put like more bounce to the ounce, and more bounce was cool, but I wasn't it wasn't my thing. And I remember I was just being disruptive in the studio because I was like, I don't want that on the song. And then what he did was he paid me to leave the studio. He gave me $50 and he said, "Yo, go leave and don't come back for like 3 hours." And he said, when you come back, if you don't like what I did with the beat, I'll scrap it. I said, okay. So I left, came back about 4 or 5 hours later. And as soon as I walked in, he hit play and I was like, wow. And that was my okay, I like funk music now. I like George Clinton. I like Roger and Zapp. Oh, I love this. And that was my beginning to actually starting to love funk music, like Zapp and Roger and Funkadelic, George Clinton. Yeah, that was my introduction right there.
Yeah, that was that's a hell of an introduction. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that was
and
go ahead, Jen.
Especially in LA, Breeze, you know who was the big deal? Zapp and Roger.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Especially with that talk box. When they came out with that, it was like, okay, now that's something even more different, you know. So
do you know that they still have you seen that they still have the street fair on Crenshaw? And Zapp still shows up.
Wow, you talking about like the food joint?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I ain't been to what's there? The Taste of LA, you mean?
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a minute. I don't think I've been there in probably about 3 or 4 years. But yeah, they always have some people coming out. It's like, oh wow,
Zapp.
they performing too. They performing too. Oh wow, yeah,
right?
Man.
Zapp,
yeah.
And then all you got to do is drive up into over by Fox Hills, and you'll find where the Whispers live. So you could just pull them in the car and drive them down there.
Right.
So okay, so you change your view on funk, and the production on this record is crazy. I mean, it's really, I mean, there is the funk stuff, but there's some serious next level shit on this album. You know,
yeah,
going through a phase.
Actually, going through a phase that was produced by DJ Pooh.
Ah, yep. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yep. And Muff did basically the bulk of everything else with help from everyone else. You know, everybody lent a hand in it. But that's when he really had to, he really got to put his own stamp on what he was doing because he's one thing about Muff is he can adapt to anything. All you need to do is tell him what you want and he'll figure it out. So it's like he'll give you what you want and then he'll also throw you suggestions. And so it made it real easy to work with him.
Yeah. How quickly did you guys record the album? Did it happen pretty quick or?
I would say we probably recorded that album maybe in about 4 months, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a pretty quick process. Once we got started, it was a pretty quick process. Well, 4 months was quick for then. Now I can get an album out in like a week.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we're talking about tape and yada yada, right?
Hey, tape, editing, booking studio time, getting stuff paid,
Yeah.
It's a total different. That's why I tell these young boys, boy, y'all don't know how easy y'all got it. Not only do you not need tape, studio time, nothing like that, but if you can't sing, the program will put you on beat and put you in tune.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
It's true.
So where did the Tyson concept, the young son of no one, where did that come from?
Well, I mean, I was a big fan of boxing, as a youngster, and obviously, the man at that time was Mike Tyson. But actually, that was part of it, but it actually had a deeper meaning than that. You guys know back in the day when there was a rapper and somebody came out, an MC, I hate saying rapper, but when there was an MC and he had a protege, that would be your son. Like Run was the son of Curtis Blow. Like it was like, that was your son, right? Well, my education in rap, I ain't have nobody to guide me. So it was like, it's like they say a double entendre, it's like a triple entendre because it has something to do with Tyson, number one. Number two, it had something to do with I didn't have a mentor and I had to figure this out for myself. So that's also the son of no one. And then also I had a strained relationship with my father. Once I moved to California, I really didn't hear from him again. And I kind of felt a certain way about that. So that's also was a shot at my pops too.
Gotcha. I always felt like you were one of the like you were in a very rare class because the West Coast scene at the time was mostly the kind of the gangster thing. But you were like one of those rare guys. It was like you and DOC, you were the lyricist, the real serious lyricist.
Yep.
They came out of that, and it kind of set you apart from everybody. Even though you got down on joints with like King T, but you were there we go. Yeah, we got to talk about that.
We got it too. Son.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna expound on that. Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, DOC was on Atlantic Records with me at the same time.
Right.
We was chummy back then. But I always say, people always like mention, like you said, it was mostly gangster rap, and King T gets put in that gangster category a lot.
Yeah, but
and I always say, and he actually really wasn't. He was so hip hop. And I don't mean like he wasn't gangster. Like, what you did outside of music is something different. But if you really listen to his music, it wasn't gangster. It was hip hop. And I was like, that's what they said. The greatest trick is, the greatest trick in the world was to make you believe the devil didn't exist or something like that. I tell them that all the time. I'm like, because you was on an album cover with a shotgun and a khaki suit and a lowrider behind you, you get plugged as like gangster rap. When actually he was very hip hop.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you can hear that. You can hear it in his music. But the fact that he comes out with exactly that the image was more gangster than anything. But
but that's the way things were in LA at that point. You know, when King T came out, when Toddy T came out, when these guys were before anything NWA.
Right.
The only gangster rap around was Ice-T.
Right.
Facts.
Yep.
Super facts.
Yep, exactly. Jen knows. Jen was there.
I was there. I was there.
So when did you we got to go back to King T. So when did you hook up with King T?
I actually hooked up with King T long before I even had a record out. I met King T when I was like I think I was probably like 17, 18. I was still on Def Jam at the time. I don't know if you guys know, but I know Jenny knows. There was a prominent clothing shop out here called the Fila Shop, where all the rappers back in the day, when they would come from New York, they would go to the Fila Shop and buy custom sweatsuits with the Gucci and the Louis Vuitton logos and all that on there. I don't know if it was before Dapper Dan. I kind of think it was. I think Dapper Dan kind of like took it to another level. But the first one was like my boy Scotty D. Scotty D had this shop out in Pacoima. And it was a record store / Fila Shop. And I used to go up to the Fila Shop, and that's where I met Tila, King T. Actually, Tila, I don't even know if he was really rapping at that time. He was a DJ. King T could DJ really well too. But it was a void as far as rappers was concerned, and somehow he went from DJing to picking up the mic, and he sounded great on the mic, and the rest is history. But I met him back when we both was like, teenagers.
Gotcha.
What high school did you go to? I have to ask.
Well, I went to North Hollywood High School, but I graduated from Poly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We were there a couple times. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
KDAY was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
KDAY was everywhere.
Thank you. Back again, I'm gonna have to say there was a performing arts program through KDAY, and we would take either the entire performing arts group to a high school, or if the high school was lucky enough, they won like a New Edition concert, or I think at one point it was the Jets.
Oh.
And but if you got the performing arts group, you got Coolio, you got Candyman, sometimes you got Ice-T, Bobcat, blah blah, Joe Cooley, whoever. But yeah, so we would go and do after school things or lunchtime things at
I was about to say lunchtime.
a lot of these high schools. Yep.
So
Yep.
So did Def Jam give you any shit about being on Just Clowning?
No, actually, I think I'm trying to think. Was I on Def Jam at that time?
Or was it, did the contract expire by that point?
You know what? I don't really remember, but I know however we did it, it got cleared. I don't know if I was, because I wasn't a free agent for that long, because right after my contract with Def Jam expired, I was signed to Atlantic within like a couple months, like 2-3 months. It happened pretty fast.
Right.
It happened pretty fast, and but who I think I may have been on Atlantic when that came out, and I think we just got clearance to do it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, because
that was the first one that we did together. Yeah, that was the first one we did, and that was with the late Mixmaster Spade as well.
Yep. R.I.P. Exactly.
Yes, that was our first venture off into it, and then there was 2 more after that. Then Play Like a Piano was after that, which was me, King T, and Ice Cube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. God damn.
This was exciting, man. This was an exciting tape because I was already a King T fan, right?
Yeah.
And then when I flipped it over and the B-side is Played Like a Piano featuring Breeze and Ice Cube, I'm like, yo, what, was it my birthday or something?
Breeze, what you don't understand is I need a starter gun because these 3 below me
we
are constantly with the CDs and the records and look, I got and they're having some kind of a weird contest.
It's a contest.
Hey, show and tell. Like who got it?
All right, there's the CD single too. So
damn.
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Hey,
had to.
Hey, wait, you know what the cold part is? I ain't got none of this.
Man.
Matter of fact, I just spoke to somebody last week about getting me a vinyl of my own. You know what? I have a vinyl, I have a CD, and I have a cassette, but it's in my mom's house somewhere, like in a like a case. But I don't have anything, no singles, no nothing.
Wow.
And my man just told me I can come get the vinyl from his store. So I told him to hold on to it. I was like, how much you want for it? He was like, for you, I'll just give it to you. I said, all right, bet.
I managed to score 2 copies of LA Posse, so I can send you one if you want.
Man, please.
Yeah, sure, no problem. And then I got a Great Big Freak too, so
please, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I think it was some like it was there, and I was like, oh, I'll just grab this, and then I got home and I'm like, oh, I already have this, but that's all right. It's a dope song.
There it is.
So yeah. So anyway. All right. Yeah. So Play Like a Piano, man. What was it? Did you guys know that it was going to be that special kind of joint when you did it? Or was it just kind of like, it's going to be like, okay, it's cool. I'm going to go into the studio and knock this out. Or was there magic in the air?
Actually, it was routine, like kind of for me and King T. It was like known that you putting out a record, I'm getting on it.
Right.
From the time that we did from Just Clowning. So when it came time to do that album that had played like a piano on, and I went down to the studio and Pooh played the beat, and I was like, "Ooh, wow, that's." And I didn't even know Cube was going to be on it. So and I think King T did. I think King T laid a verse, and then Cube. Cube wasn't in the studio with us. We sent it to Cube, and Cube did his verse, and then it was like, as all like rap is, it's very competitive. So my whole thing was like, okay, I don't want to get lost on this record. I need to do something. I need to do something to stand out, like type. So that's why I always loved being on records with other people, because it always kind of to me brought the best out. Because I'm just super competitive about. I don't care who's on the record with me. You know, like what Kendrick Lamar said. Like Kendrick Lamar said something like that. He wants to, y'all all my friends, but I'm still trying to murder y'all when y'all get on the track with me. So
Yep.
So and then once it was finished, it was like, wow. Then we all said, wow. Now, did I know that it was still gonna be? Because still to this day, me and King T performed this. Matter of fact, we just did a show down at Leimert Park not too long ago, and Freestyle Fellowship, a bunch of groups was out there. And as you look over to the side, you see all of them sitting there. And once we get off the stage, they was like, yo, you guys just don't know how that was like one of my favorite rap records ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, still to this day, it still resonates. And man, that's saying something.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just such a powerful record, you know.
It's you know what is this? As soon as that beat drop, you hear that. As soon as you hear that, it's like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, that sample has been used since, but it's not the same. You know, it's not like the only. Yeah, it's just that one's the joint. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's all. That's 89-ish, right? And was there ever talk of you doing a follow-up to Young Son of No One?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The crazy thing was, man, you know what? Me being a young cat, I was like 21, 22 years old. I really didn't understand the significance of what I was doing. It came easy, actually. I was actually signed to another label before I got to Def Jam. It was called TLO Airwave Records. I had a deal with them. I think I was like 15. Then I got a deal with Def Jam when I was 16. Then I got a deal with Atlantic when I was 19. So it was like these deals came like easy, and I thought it was like just super easy to do this because I keep, rolling 7. I keep rolling 7, right? So you gotta think I was on the label with DOC, Kwame, Cool C, I forgot who else was. I don't know if Light was on there at that time, but it was like it was a bunch of us there, and I kind of, looking back on it now, I kind of understand the way the music works. It's like, look, we're gonna throw everybody out. Whoever gains the most traction, we're putting all the money behind them. It's not spreading the wealth like, Breeze, you get a marketing budget, no, it's whoever goes out there and whoever sticks, we're gonna throw money behind it. And obviously NWA being NWA and they putting out DOC took off. Yeah. And Kwame kind of got a little bit more traction. With my stuff, like we basically paid for a lot of stuff out of our pocket. We paid radio promoters. And the label was mad at us when we got 50 stations on our own. They was mad. Like, why'd y'all do that? Because you're not doing it. That's why. And I got no tour support. I got no tour support when I was going out on tour with like EPMD, 2 Live Crew, and all these people. Too Short. I got no tour support. I was paying for like tours out my pocket. So it was like I got to a point to where I'm like, my second single is funny. You put up Great Big Freak because I absolutely hated that song, but it made the album because it wasn't my choice. I wanted to put out Tyson. But
Yeah.
at the time, Will Smith had just put out a record called "I Think I Could Beat Mike Tyson."
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
So they didn't want to put the record out for fear, like, oh, well, that's just like something that came out. Once again, these label heads don't understand music. We're like, no, my record is so totally different than that.
Yeah.
That's a satire off of fighting Mike Tyson. My song has nothing to do with like that. It's an actual a metaphor of who I am, you know?
Yeah.
So, but they didn't get it. And, you know, one thing led to another, you know, and I'm me being 21, 22, I'm thinking like, you know what? F them. I can go get another deal someplace else. So I figured I'm going to do this power move. Right. And I was actually talking to Gerald Busby's son, Chris Busby, and he was going to pull me over to Motown. So once again, I'm thinking, whoo, this is easy. Look, I already got another deal in the wakes. All I got to do is get out of this one. So, and I remember Sylvia Rhone, who's still a very prominent person in this music industry. She called me and she said, I remember her exact words. She said, "Hey, Breeze, baby, you ready to do your next album?" And I said, "Actually, no." And she was like, "What?" I said, "No, I actually don't think I'm even going to rap anymore. I think I'm done." And she said, "What?" I said, "Yeah." And then I said, so, you know, I appreciate if you just sign me a release because I don't even want to be part of this. And I'm under a production deal. I ain't really getting money. My money comes from y'all, then goes through them, then comes to me. Like, I ain't really getting no money. Like, and she was like, and I remember she said, "You sure?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm sure." And I ended up getting a release off of Atlantic probably like about 2 months later. And then I had 2 deals on the table. I was going to sign to Capitol. And I had Motown. So it was like kind of like a bidding war. And then out of the blue, somewhere, somehow, word got around was, "Don't touch him." And it was like, wait, what? So, and it was crazy because I met John Sally at a club for the Detroit Pistons basketball player. And when he met me, he was like, "Yeah, oh, what's up, Breeze, man? You was dope, man. Damn, I'm sorry they blackballed you." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" He was like, "Yeah, didn't you have a couple deals on the table that you never ended up signing?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's because the word got out not to sign you."
Wow. Whew.
I remember I walked up in the Capitol Records and the receptionist accused me of cursing her out. I'm like, "I don't even know you." This is the first time I've been on this floor. What do you mean I cursed you? I don't even know you. And then the Motown thing fell apart because there was some, I guess, some weirdo stuff going on between the Good Girls and one of the representatives up there. And it was a scandal up there. I don't know if y'all know about that scandal. But once the dude got fired, it was like my deal went, and then these people over here at Capitol was saying I was cursing people out. And I'm like, and it was just funny how just opportunities just kept disappearing.
Wow. Damn, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
She asked you if you were sure.
Hey, look. Hey, you right. Hey,
He didn't have to do him like that, though.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
right.
not, you know,
Wow.
not a big fan of some of the things Sylvie has done over the years. Yeah. Anyway, but damn,
no,
man.
that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. That's a whole other show. Yep.
But she was cool. But she was cool as hell while I was on the label. She was cool as hell. I mean, she was very inviting, and at that point, I didn't understand the dynamic between a 20-year-old and what was she like, high 30, maybe 40, and I was like, "Oh, she's not my type." But she was very inviting.
Yeah.
Come on, hey, look, Gerald Levert lasted a long time. Not only because he could sing good. And I always look at Gerald Levert like, damn, that could have been me.
Man.
I could have been cooling We're just cooling.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
Uh,
I can turn back time.
yeah, right? Damn.
Mhm.
Oh, so real quick, we got to talk about the album that you did appear on, They Come in All Colors by LA
Okay.
Posse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
That was a cool album. I mean, you know what? It was something that they was, kind of that was necessary to get the deal done. But I mean, realistically, and I clown them about this all the time. Like, y'all niggas ain't rappers. Like, stop it. But at the same time, come on, man, look who they had. They had me writing for them. LL wrote a song for them. LL wrote the Countdown, the first single. I wrote their second single. Me and Rage was on the album.
Yep.
Wise Guys wanted help write. So I mean, they had people writing songs behind them. But when it came down to, it's like, come on, bro. Like, we tried it. We tried it, and they was actually Daryl and Dwayne, Muffin, Big Dad was a group before. When I was starting out, they used to be called Double D, Death and Defiance, and they had like the Egyptian lover style music too. So I mean, they was trying to do it for a minute, but Muff Forte was pushing them buttons, not rapping.
Yeah. It probably would have done them more justice had they just done like a Marley Marl style thing, and just
exactly.
Did the beats and brought in MCs.
Exactly. Exactly.
So then, so you now what? I don't think you're not on the Trifling album, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I don't know which.
No.
I don't know. I don't know the
That's
song
everyone.
list, but I was on the third one. I don't know which album that was, but it was a song called Freestyle Ghetto.
Freestyle Ghetto. That's on the fourth album, his fourth album.
Okay, so yeah, I must have missed the third one. I was on Freestyle Ghetto. Oh damn! Did he beat you again?
They got.
I got the tape. He has the CD.
Yep, I got the CD down there too. So.
That's my favorite King T album. That's my
Is it
favorite.
really?
Yeah,
Really?
that's my favorite King T album.
Wow.
I love that one.
Yeah. And you know what? That was the introduction for Exhibit. I remember when I went into the studio, it was me, King T, the Alcoholics, and this kid named Exhibit. And I was like, who's homie? Like, okay. Boom. And I remember his name his name was Exhibit when he was rapping, but they kept calling him Shady. And I'm like, well, is he Shady or is he Exhibit? Because if you listen in the background when it first comes on, you're going to hear somebody go, let's go Shady, let's go Shady. But then he comes in and he's, as Exhibit. And I remember from that day when he rapped, my head turned was like, okay, that dude got it. That dude right there, he got it. Like, and once again, that was one of those, okay, is this what we doing? Okay, let's go. Let's go. And I think I'm second. I think I'm right after Exhibit. I'm like, if you see my verse, I got the longest verse because I was making sure I said everything I needed to say.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was that was 94. Were you recording on the interim or anything at that point?
You know what? Yeah, I actually did like an independent project that I did on my own.
That's right. It ain't funky no more.
It ain't funky no more. Yeah, I even did a video and the whole nine. And after that, and just going through the whole politics of everything, I kind of like really became like disenchanted with the music, and I wasn't really trying to record for myself. So then I ended up just writing for King T, especially when King T got the Aftermath deal. I was over there doing a lot of writing for him. So I was doing a lot of writing behind the scenes. I just wasn't doing my own thing just because I was just, as I tell people today, that word business is way bigger than the word music. So you got to know your business if you're going to get into this because, this it'll change your views and, it'll make you hate something that you absolutely loved.
Yeah.
And so what happened is after the King T album, I don't know if it ever even came out or whatever.
They're finally releasing it.
Yeah, you know what? along with
Oh, Lord.
what was the other
That's the best you
Dre
can do?
album that never came out? What's the other one? Not the Chronic, the one they always kept threatening that Dre was gonna put out and it never came out. And I
No,
never got
Detox.
Oh,
yeah,
Detox.
Detox.
Yeah.
It's coming out with Detox. It's a double CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once I did that, then after that, then King T wasn't signed over there no more. I really became so like down on the music industry while I was writing for King T. Dre actually offered me a deal. I played some records for him that I was doing. I had this little group that I put together and I played it for him. And then as soon as I played it, he said, "Look, I'm gonna tell you this: the records are cool, but I don't want to sign the group. I just want to sign you." And I was like, "Oh, like my whole mind frame around that time was like, I wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for them. They're the ones that got me to even still want to do this." And I'm like, man, I can't just turn my back on my homies like that. But forward thinking, I should have just went ahead and did it because obviously, I this was before 50 Cent. So it was like, you know what? Look, I could have been the dude that put out a record and pulled up on my homies, but I kind of, I actually declined the offer, and I was like, no, I'm good. And hey, you know what, Jenny, you'll like this one. He goes, "You sure?" Yeah.
Sounds like Dre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like
So,
somebody else we know.
Yeah. So
So-
I did that, and I kind of just stopped music. I stopped music for a long time, and I didn't do anything for probably like about 13 years.
What brought you back?
Oh, actually, no. I came back in 2007.
Yes,
Bobcat,
you did. I was about to say.
Nas had a record called "Where Are They Now."
Oh
And,
yeah.
and he commissioned Bobcat to do a West Coast rendition of that same record.
Yep.
So Bobcat pulled me out, and I did. It was me, Candyman, Cam. It was a bunch of us on that record, and I came out and did that record.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, Conscious Daughters, and Correct.
Yeah, it's a dope record. That's a dope record.
Yeah.
All right, let's
and then
see.
That was the
got it?
last one. I
don't know.
I was about to say, who got that one? Yeah.
No, that one. Yeah.
Survey says.
That's a tough one to find.
That's
a tough one to find. Yep.
Yeah. So then, after that record, I kind of chilled. Like from 2007, I didn't really do anything.
Wow.
No. And then what's crazy was right now is one of the I did this when I was doing that project where I played it for Dre. I was in like a 4-man group, and we all went our separate ways. We're still all friends and everything, but I stopped. But one of the dudes that I was in there, my man Jock, he still was rapping. And one day I hadn't seen him in a while, and I went over his house, and this was probably about 4 years ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. I went over his house, and I walked in his house, and he had the pad out and had the beats playing, had his cousin there, and they rapping, and I looked at him like, "Wait, you still rapping? Like, wow, you still kept it going?" He was like, "Yeah," and he looking at me and like, "I'm surprised you're not." I'm like, "Well, it is what it is." And then he just challenged me. He was like, he said, "You know what? Why don't we just do one record and just see how you feel? And if you like it, then, maybe it'll spark you into, doing more songs and stuff like that." So I did one record with him, one song with him. That song turned into, I think we have about 17 now. I have actually like 2 projects that I'm going to try and release in the near future. And plus also I got a song with Medusa that's going to be dropping within the next month or 2. So I got like a lot of little projects in the works that I'm doing. But the one thing that is different about it for me now is obviously when we were younger, we did it because we wanted to be famous, we wanted to be rich, I still want money behind this, but the whole being famous thing, that's not. I'm doing it now because I absolutely love to just go in the studio, pick up a pen, and just write. So I found the love for it again, and y'all gonna hear some new music from me very soon.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say one more. thing, and I'm still nice. And reason why I say that is because there's a lot of dudes from my era. And don't get me wrong, I love to hear cats from my era and, you know, even a little bit after me that still rap, but some of them still sound like they're still in that era. And it's like, you know, it works only a little bit. Certain people who have certain iconic styles can keep it coming back. But the thing about hip hop, like in sports, is like you need to always reinvent yourself and stay relevant to the time and what's going on. Doesn't mean you have to do skinny jean rap. It just means that you just need to make it relevant. And so that's the one thing that I think that I've been able to do with the new projects that I'm doing is I got a couple of things that when I play it, they look at me and go, wait a minute, that's you? And I'm like, yep, that's me. So I'm trying, you know, trying some different stuff. I even got a project that I'm doing with like a live band.
Oh, word.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
So what about the archives, Breeze?
What's
You
the
know,
archives?
Did you get your masters back?
You know what? I just learned about that. And you know what? I'm in the process of trying to do that now. Matter of fact, Muff just hit me. And he was like, hey, you know we could do it now. Wait, was it supposed to be 30 or 35 years? How many years was it?
I thought it was 30.
Okay, so if it's 30, then yeah, we can.
Yeah.
But I just found out about this, I think like a couple of months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm in the process of trying to work that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it that Snoop said a while ago that after 7 years you can re-release everything digital?
Oh, really?
After 7, I think, because he was on live and telling everybody, you know, do it, and he re-released
Doggy Style.
Doggy Style.
Yeah.
Oh, digitally
on Death Row.
Oh.
Didn't he just I think he just cut a deal to stream all the music from Death Row now. I think he just because he wasn't putting it on, he wasn't putting on the DSPs for a while. He was like, no.
Yeah, he took it. All that stuff got taken down. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, but I think that he just inked the deal or something to where he's going to start putting it out on DSPs now.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, you should be able to get your masters back by all means, because I think it was prior to 1990 or 91 or something. They always changed the laws because of Elvis. That was the thing. When the Elvis recordings were about to go into public domain, they would change the laws. So, but anybody like prior to 90 or 91, you can get your masters back because that law still applies to 30 years.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, man. We're big into archiving, preserving, you know, past recordings or whatever, even stuff you have in the vaults, man. You know, that's I love to hear that stuff. So
yeah, I would too.
The heads. Yeah, right. Right.
I'm not even sure. Is Chung King still there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because it was on Center Street. It was on Center Street between Broome and Grant. I don't know if it's still there.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know whether they moved the studio. I have no idea.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting. Chuck told me once that there was a flood at one point. At
170 Varick Street, number 12.
Okay, so they moved.
Yeah. Actually, no. This says recording studio, 36 West 37th Street, 3rd floor.
They moved.
They moved.
Temporarily closed.
Yeah,
Chung King House of Metal.
Yeah, because that was like down in Chinatown.
Yeah, yep. That's where the name came from, right? Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. Yeah, Chuck told me there was a flood at Def Jam and they lost a bunch of stuff at one point, but I don't know what it was. You know, I don't even know if they know what they lost, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And man, you know what? And shout out to Chuck, man, because Chuck is another one, man, like back in the day that, you know, was one of those cats that used to, you know, tell me like, hey man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're doing over, but yo, keep doing your thing. I remember, I mean, it got to a point that when I was on Def Jam, I was making diss records against Def Jam subliminally, and they wouldn't even know, and I was dissing them on the records. But the one who found out, the one who pulled my shirt was Bill Stephanie. Bill Stephanie was
Mr.
like,
Bill.
yeah, Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill said, "Hey, that song played out. I know what you're talking about." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" It was like, "No. I know what you're talking about. This is gonna be between us, though." But that was dope, though. So yeah, Chuck was one of those dudes, and I remember, like, not too long ago, it was probably I don't know how many years ago, probably like maybe about 7, 8 years ago, somewhere between 5 and 7 years ago. You guys probably know Chuck came out here and he spearheaded a Skid Row concert.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
that
I was on. Yeah, when was that?
That was because I was there, and my son was Davey was like a year old, I think. So 2012, maybe.
Oh damn, was that long ago?
It was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I think
Time
so.
is just flying. Yeah, but the cool thing about it is I seen Chuck there. Chuck was Chuck's still the same dude. What's up, Breeze?
yeah.
Blah 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 blah. I was like, man, you know what? That's a good solid dude, man. And like I said, he's one of those dudes back in the day. He used to be like, yo, man, don't sweat this shit. Just keep pushing, keep doing your thing. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yep. He must be busy tonight. I haven't heard from him, but because sometimes he pops in the show when he's able to. So he must be busy. But
exactly. Sometimes he bum rushes the show.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes he does. Yeah.
Sometimes he does.
He does indeed. Exactly that.
Well, that's great, man. It's great to hear that you got new music coming out. You're one of those, like I said, you're one of those MCs that, for me, just dropped an amazing album, showed up on occasionally on some guest spots, and then it was like, wow, what happened? What happened to Breeze?
And there he is.
And there he is.
Well, I'll tell y'all this. We're not going. I'm gonna make sure that whatever I do, as far as releasing music or whatever, I'm gonna make sure y'all are right there. So I mean, I know I got y'all Instagrams and all of that, but make sure like y'all DM me y'all numbers and whatever email addresses, because whatever I got, whatever I'm getting ready to do, I'll make sure I send it to you guys. And like I said, right now I'm doing the finishing touches on this song that I got with Medusa right now. We're finishing up the video right now. I got it's crazy. Like that's another girl, MC, who was like one of those that I always admired from afar, but like we kind of knew each other, but didn't really know each other. And then like 2 years ago, I think about a year ago, we ended up in the studio at the same time, and it was like, there's a beat, there's a mic, let's see. And we ended up doing this. This is the first song we did together. Matter of fact, we're recording tomorrow. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. We got this other song that we're gonna do tomorrow. We're gonna finish up putting the little finishing touches on this. So I'm like, hey man, I think we got something special. So like, look, let's keep this groove going. Let's put this out and just keep trying. Just keep putting stuff out, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Flatline heads up the Hip Hop Gods Radio, which is on Chuck's rap station. And anything you got, we'll get it into rotation, man. Get it up get it on the charts.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's part of the goal, man. That's what we try to do. So
yeah. I mean, it's great that, artists like myself and from my era and even after my era and before my era, they still have a platform like, you guys that provide to even, still, put things out like this, because I mean, there's some teaching moments in here, unfortunately, we kind of got away from, the OGs, teaching the youngsters and the youngsters looking for OGs for guidance, to where now it's just, I always tell people, I was like, the difference between music now is just the drugs. These niggas is on different drugs.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's their, and don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of it. I like, it took me a minute because, I was one of them fogies that's like, man, turn that off. I don't want. But then, you know, I got teenage daughters. So, you know, in car rides with them, they would always play stuff for me. And then eventually I was like, okay, you know what? You need to stop. What I need to stop doing is I need to stop classifying these dudes as rappers because most of them are not. They rock stars.
Yeah.
It's a whole different genre of music that they doing.
Yes.
It's rap, but they like different. They rock stars. So once I changed my view of what they was doing, it taught me how to appreciate the music now.
Yes. I think that's a great distinction that I think a lot of people miss out on because especially people from our generation, they're quick to put it all together. Oh, this, you know, this shit ain't rap or whatever. This shit is terrible or whatever the hell like that. There's no good rap anymore, which is like, okay, that's totally not true. Because you're not looking for it because it's still there. If you like the stuff you used to like, there's still new stuff being made that sounds like that. You can find that stuff. You just got to go look.
Right there.
But it's the classification, man. You're exactly right. The people, it's a different thing. They're rapping, but they're pop stars. They're rock stars.
Yeah, exactly. Most definitely. And you know what? Hey, all I can say is, hey, man, hip hop turns 50 this year.
Yep.
You know, they never thought we was gonna make it past 5. Now we at 50. And you know, as far as, you know, the leading music in the industry, the most streamed, sold, marketed, it still is hip hop. So, you know, and that's the one thing that I love about being a part of this is because I still stay relevant to my children. When I was coming up, my mom didn't really understand what I was doing, but I understand exactly what my kids are doing. I understand exactly the music, exactly the modes that they're in. So this thing kind of still keeps us relevant, even though we're OGs or whatever the case may be.
Sure. Any chance of a new Breeze King T song?
Man, I'm trying to get him into the studio. Yo, look, okay, here's something. I've been asked to remake LA Posse so many times.
Really?
I used to, and I always say, no, I don't want to remake that record because that record stands on its own. That's its own record. And so there's been instances to where people would throw me beats. And I'm like, but that beat ain't banging like LA Posse beat. Nah. Yeah. Finally, this dude that I work with, producer, his name is Master C. He played me a track about 2 weeks ago, and he slid in the LA California in there, and I was like, okay, I'll do that one. So I like to tell people this: I'm not going to remake the song. I'm not going to revise the song. I'm not going to remix the song. I'm just going to reimagine it as something totally different. But on this one, it's not going to be me only. I'm going to enlist the help of some of my West Coast brethren so we can bring it back. And I mean, like, I want somebody from Compton, from LA, from Pomona, from the Valley, wherever and it has to have a couple of females on it as well.
Yeah.
So I'm in the midst of trying to put that together right now. And King T was the first person I reached out to. He fronted on me. He was supposed to come to the studio 2 weeks ago, but he never showed up.
We got to get Sugar Free on there.
I would love to.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Wow.
Damn, got to track down King T, man. We were trying to get him on the show too. So
I'll get him for you. Hey, you know what? Say no more. Say less. I'll get him for you.
Thank you, sir.
I mean that's real. You don't know how many of these like podcasts and different radio interviews and stuff like that I've done. They always like, hey man, what's up with King T? Why you want to go? Okay, I'll get him for you. So I mean that's nothing, because I mean he's a good dude. I mean he's got, you know, he's had some trying times with, you know, a few deaths in his family lately, so he kind of had to fall back. But like he's out now. He's kind of out and he's kind of back to himself. And the first thing he said was like, yo, Breeze, man, I gotta get back into that creative. I'm so happy to hear you say that. Come to my studio. I got a studio, and come to the studio. So I'm gonna get him there. But as far as getting him on your show, don't worry, I got that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I laid off of him because of all of the.
Yeah. We knew the timing wasn't
the
right.
situation he was having.
Yeah.
Speaking of the LA Posse song, the video, something I've been saying for 30 years is when we're dissing somebody, we always say, "Get the burgers, Wimpy." Who came up with that? Who came up with that? I still say that to this day.
The dude who said it in the video, that was Big Dad. Now,
Okay.
he came up. That was strictly off the cuff. That was a freestyle.
He's like, "Get the burgers, Wimpy."
We didn't know he was going to say it. It just happened.
Okay. I still say that to this day. I swear.
Yep. That's a classic line.
Yeah. Oh, that's super classic.
That's great. I totally forgot about that until you just brought it up. Damn.
We still say that.
Get the
We trying to
burgers,
do
Wimpy.
the dance moves that Breeze was doing. Oh man, that was my joint.
Yeah, that is the joint.
Hey, Breeze, are you working with Muffla at all on any new music?
No, not really. I mean, you know what? I did something. He put out something. I seen. He charted on your hip hop guys. I've seen it on there. He did something with Doc Ice and all of them. I did a record on. I did a song on there called "So Funny." I did something, but Muff is like I don't know if you know Muff, but Muff is heavy into football. He has a semi-pro like kind of like male team. He just put out a women's team. He's doing a lot of stuff with that. I asked him, but Muff is not pushing too many buttons lately. He's one of them other ones that I'd be like, come on, man,
Yeah.
let's get it, but he has a busy life. Yeah. But I would love to, and I must stay on him until I get something from him.
Yeah, because he's been sending me random tracks over the years. Last year he sent me one with Ice Cube. And I was like, okay, maybe he's like getting back into it, but it sounds like it's sporadic.
Yeah. And plus he has another kid that produces for him. And I swear to God, if you close your eyes, you think it was Battle Cat, but it's not.
Oh.
But he has another dude that's like, pretty talented. But I'm sure he's still doing tracks here and there. But as far as like full time on it, like he was, like, nah, he's got a lot of other irons in the fire. But I'm still gonna get something out of him one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And so one of the dudes who's taking over the reins is my boy from the Bay Area. His name is Chase. They call him Noisemaker. So he's produced a lot of songs for me. He's kind of taking the reins. Chase is a very prominent producer, so y'all gonna be hearing a lot of stuff from him. He got a few acts that he has streaming out right now. I wanted to give him a shout out too, because he's also one of those dudes. When I got back into the studio a few years back, he was the one that the first one to challenge me, because I would walk in the studio. I'm like, yo, play this kind of beat. And he would be like, no. And I'm like, and then he would play a beat. And I'm like, I don't rap like that. And he was like, well, you should learn how to do something different. Like, you can't come back. So he was one of the dudes that taught me how to adapt to what's going on today, not necessarily sounding like today. But I think the dopest thing is when you can take some of the new beats that they're rapping over right now and really put a dope MC on it who really knows how to pull it off. It's it's kind of like merging the two genres without selling each other short.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. Fantastic. Any other questions from my esteemed panel?
That's it.
Nothing.
No. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm looking forward to the new music.
Yeah, most definitely. Please
For
keep
sure.
us posted on that.
Yep.
Definitely will. Definitely
All
will.
right. Yeah, Breeze, thank you for coming through. Appreciate your time, sir.
Yeah, once again, thanks for having me. And don't forget, man, just so I can shout out, my Instagram is OG Breeze_LA. Y'all can hit me there anytime. Y'all, whoever on here has my information, please DM me your number so I can send y'all my information as well. I want to stay in contact with y'all and, make sure that, I continue to support y'all as well.
Most definitely. Yeah, Jenny will get you hooked up with the info. Thank you, sir.
I got you.
Hey, you know what? Since you're so close, one day we got to do lunch or something, Jenny.
Hey, you sure about that? Sure about that, Bree?
I'm sure I can handle that. I'm sure I can handle that.
Oh wow.
Maybe it'll spark something in my mind that I go, oh, I remember him.
There you go. Come on now. Whatever it
Yep.
takes. Whatever it
Because
takes.
you're talking about way too many people that I spent way too much time with.
Exactly. Well, dude, let's share what? Let's share a meal and share stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Take care. All right. There we go. That was fantastic, man.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
Yeah.
Yep. MC Breeze.
I had to
Someone-
get that question answered though.
Yeah.
We
No,
still
that was
say
great.
that to this day. We still say that to this day. We're like, get the burgers, Wimpy.
Oh, that's so funny, man. I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that. That's so funny.
Dre Mays says he was thinking of the exact same line.
See? Yeah. Because they had that little studio session before the video starts.
Yeah. It was like, oh, we got to get back to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Get the burgers, Wimpy.
Get the burgers. Whippy. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff.
Well, Flatline's back. Flatline, guess what I found?
Don't make me run to the closet. I'll pull it out right now.
Somebody's in the back of this magazine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the one. Yeah. Yep.
Oh shit! Yeah, me. Yeah,
Oh, shit. Yeah.
yeah,
me.
there I am. Yep,
Yep. Anchorage,
Yeah.
Alaska.
yep. What year is that? 90, 95, 96?
94, December 94. Alcoholics is on the front.
Yeah, man.
It's the
Oh,
licks,
good.
baby.
Those were
It's
the
the licks,
days.
baby. It's the licks.
Yeah. Crazy.
Memories. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Yo, man, for any of the heads, if you guys haven't heard this album, go fucking listen to this album. Do
Mhm.
yourself a favor, because 89, holy shit. I listened to it again today, and it really reminds me of, like, it's a perfect companion piece to DOC's No One Can Do It Better.
Good call on that.
Yeah, they really stand side by side and complement one another, because he's got that flow, his lyrical style, and the beats, the production.
It's crazy.
Scene of the homicide when the guitars come in.
Yeah.
That was on-
Yeah.
It wasn't like the super hard guitar like a Run DMC. It was smooth. It fit right in there. I love that.
Yep. Watch the Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dope album.
Very dope album. I think Loungin' is probably my least favorite song, and it's still dope.
Yeah.
You know? Exactly. That's funny that he's in like great big freak.
Yeah.
And you got doubles. Is that the one you have doubles
No,
on?
I got doubles of LA Posse.
Okay.
So, yeah, great big freak. But I see what that's funny. He wanted to put out Tyson because that's the B side. So,
Mhm.
and Tyson should have been the single.
Yeah.
Because that's just talk about starting the album off strong. Shit.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, there you go. Let's get into our usual
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Exactly. Thank you, Jennifer. As always, it's C-Doc again. It's brought to you by the Spit Slam Record Label Group. The Spit Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound. And also, you can catch Flatline and I, along with Mr. Chuck D, every Friday night on the Angie Don't Stop radio show, where I have the segment, the Spit Slam Jam of the Week. I think last week I mentioned the Spit Slam Jam of the Week, and I mixed it up because last week's was actually From My Hood to You, and this week is DJ Code Money's Can of Whoop Ass. Was that the one I didn't censor correctly, Flatline?
Yeah, that's the one.
Was it bad?
I was just two things I had to edit out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it wasn't
You
horrible.
mean this one?
Yes. There you go.
Wow. Answer for a point.
But you
Yep.
don't have that one.
Give
You
Jenny
don't
a
have
point.
that one.
I think we need to might have to hit Chris Schwartz up on that one about doing some wax on that album. What do you think, Jennifer?
From My Hood to You?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
not just the damn single.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
album. The album itself. Sugar Bear in the house.
Mhm.
With one Mr. Pasta Noose joining Daddy-O.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why I, in honor of De La, that's why I
Yeah.
played that.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's all. But
Happy
yeah.
Pie Day, everybody.
Yep.
I'm not going to discuss the other holiday that is today, but
314.
Happy Pie Day.
You mean
Steak and
steak and yeah,
uh,
steak and
yeah.
beautiful joint steak.
Beautiful steak and beautiful joints day. Is that today? I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Oh,
314.
I was today years old. I
yeah.
really had no idea what the hell was.
Oh,
I
you
got-
didn't know that was a thing?
No.
Oh,
I knew it was a thing. I
religiously.
just didn't realize it was today. It's funny though. I went to the grocery store earlier and I bought steak for tomorrow.
Oh wow. Mara,
Oh,
Yeah, where's
go
the
lock
hand?
yourself in the closet.
No, it wasn't. It's not. She wanted steak salad.
this
Anyway.
is a family show. It's a family show.
It's totally not.
Whose
But-
family?
But my
Whose family?
yeah, Davey's like, oh yeah, Dad, I went and watched your show on YouTube today, and I'm like, you can't watch my show. Don't go watching my show. I say all kinds of horrible shit on this show.
Don't you dare watch my show.
Yeah, and he's there in school watching it. I'm like, oh, great, Dave, you're gonna get. in
Thank
trouble."
you, Knackwurst. I was today years old. He said he had to look it up. He'd never
Really?
heard of it either.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I knew about it. I just didn't realize it was today.
Valentine's Day is for the ladies. Steak and BJ Day is for the men.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Excuse me, beautiful joints day.
Yeah, beautiful joints day. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, I've been celebrating for years.
You what?
I've been who man? What?
TMI.
Yep. Mean Streets of Freeport. That's right.
Nah, we don't. La 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 la. Preacher's
Yeah.
daughter. Don't need to know.
What about the vegans? Yeah. Uh-huh.
What about him?
What? Yeah. What about them? Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
Oh, sorry. I asked Donald D if he wanted to jump on the show, and I missed his text. He said, "Yeah." Oh, sorry, Donald. Next time.
Isn't he still here?
I don't know.
Is he still there?
I'll send him the link. See if he jumps on real
Rise
quick.
from spit. I want candy. Huh? What? In lieu of the steak or
candy.
Right.
Just like candy.
wow.
Jennifer, who do we have on next week?
Sorry, got steak. Oh. No. Knackwurst said Donald D. Who's on next week? Anybody ever heard of a little movie called House Party? Or anybody heard of a little group called Groove Be Chill? Next week would be DJ Bilal, straight from Groove Be Chill.
DJ Blau from Group B Chill.
Strong Island.
Strong Island in the house. Yes, indeed. I'm sure the story.
We're on a little bit of a streak.
Yeah.
right now.
I'm sure the stories are going to be endless. So
Mhm.
that will be fun.
Yes, sir.
Strong Island in the house. All right.
I guess
Yes.
Donald D really did.
He got
Yeah.
the memo.
Yeah. My bad, Don. Sorry, I missed you. Anyway. Yeah, so there we go. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Everybody watching on the replay. And you can join us all again next week for another episode of It's CDoc again. Oh yeah, and yes, Twitch. Yes, thanks.
Knackwurst.
Yes, thank you, Knackwurst,
Knackwurst.
for watching us on Twitch.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he did for a minute there. So yeah,
I think he's still there.
Oh, is he? Okay.
oh,
Okay.
wait, Jennifer,
Hmm.
the stat count.
Oh yeah, we almost forgot.
Oh yeah, we almost. forgot.
Just say stat.
Yeah. Give me just a second here.
Oh, there he is. Roxy, you want to say hi?
It's a Sonic Fallen Soldiers.
She's like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
20,802.
Ah,
Still going.
Solid.
still going.
That's great.
Almost
I think
21.
these guys, they got a future.
Yep. Now, if
They're
we
going
could just
somewhere.
get that, if we just get their damn album out,
Right? They might make it. You never
Mhm.
know.
might have something there. All right, excellent. Did we cover all the bases of our weekly shticks? I think so.
I think so.
All right.
Somebody's birthday is this weekend. Whose birthday is this weekend?
DJ Lords. Was
Oh,
the
back
other
to
day.
the lab. Never mind.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
oh.
Flavor Flav's birthday is on Thursday,
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
as is my cousin John.
Rice from Spitz, like, can we please play the outro video?
Yeah, he's like,
He's done.
End your damn show. And yes,
Right.
De La Soul is going to be on Jimmy Fallon this Thursday.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you, Dre
Okay.
Mays.
Oh,
What?
There you go.
this guy's got everything.
He does. He's got all the Flavor Flav.
All I have is tapes.
Tapes are good.
Yeah.
We love tapes.
Knackwurst said, me and Lord just celebrated.
Yes. Yep. Happy birthday, Knack. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday, Lord.
Oh
Happy
yeah.
belated birthday, DJ Lord. Yep. Exactly. All right. So there we go. We'll see everybody next week on another episode of It's CDoc again. Peace out.
Here we go again.